Today's disc review is brought to you by Disc Baron Disc Golf. With all the top brands in disc golf, Disc Baron is your one-stop online disc golf shop and brick-and-mortar disc golf store. Browse their expansive inventory online at discbaron.com or visit their store in Grand Rapids, Michigan today. At Disc Baron, every disc is weighed, and they offer individual pictures of each disc. Disc Baron also offers free shipping on all orders to the continental United States, and they ship daily. Hey everybody, Tori here again from Disc Golf Central. We got another disc review for you today as part of our summer series. We're talking about the Discmania P2. Now, this disc is going to be part of a package that we just gave away. So if you are watching this video and you want to know how to win this disc, sorry, you're too late. You should have watched the previous two videos on the Discmania FD and the MD2. But we're going to be doing a lot more giveaways in the future. So keep track, stay up to date at Instagram at discgolfcentral_ for future giveaways. But we're comparing this Discmania P2 to my personal favorite putter, the Discraft Soft Magnet, a previous favorite of mine, the Discraft Challenger, a fan favorite, the Gateway Wizard, and then always popular Discraft Banger GT in the Jawbreaker plastic. Let's see how these fly in comparison to each other. We're going to go flat, anhyzer, hyzer, and then a couple of on-course videos too, just for kicks. Alright, so we're going to start here with just a nice flat release with this magnet. I really do like the magnet quite a bit. It's got a lot of glide, it goes really straight, and it's really workable, as we'll see. Next up is the Jawbreaker Banger GT. Don't really get a good throw on this one at all, as you'll see, kind of just low, but we'll see more what the Banger can do here in just a couple minutes. Next up, the Gateway Wizard. It's the firm plastic. People love the Gateway, and it's easy to see why. The Wizard, because it just goes nice and straight. Put a little bit of air under this one, let it work out. Pretty pronounced hyzer finish, but definitely easy to see why people love it. Next up is the Challenger, Crazy Tough Challenger. I really like the Challenger for a throwing putter. It's easy to throw with a good bit of power, and I put a decent amount of power on this one. You can see it just goes straight. And pretty far too. And then finally the D-Line P2, the test disc today. This was really my first big throw with it, and it holds up. It stands up to flat. It hyzers out nice and soft, nothing too crazy, but you can just tell that it's a great disc. Now we're going to throw some anhyzers. Magnet's an easy anhyzer disc. It's relatively understable, so I just move my thumb to the outside and let it ride. I like this Jawbreaker Banger GT for this shot right here because, as you'll see, you put a good move on it, you get the nose angle right, and it just flips up, turns over, and then tries to fight out but holds that turn. So it kind of fights back to flat and gives you a lot of glide. Really easy for somebody who has a poor forehand shot like I do. Turn that right-hand corner. The Wizard, it's a little more overstable, so I try and showcase its ability to kind of show a flex. I didn't really throw it that well, so you can see it just kind of eats into the ground. But you can see it's got a little bit of tendency to want to move if you put a good throw on it. Now this Challenger, it's more overstable, but this one's pretty beat up, so it does give me quite a bit of turn here. As you can see, I also kind of threw it bad, but it fights out a little bit and goes pretty decent ways down that little ditch over there too. It was at the bottom, so it carried quite a bit. And now the P2. This was probably one of my more favorite shots with this P2. This was maybe more of a straight kind of shot rather than an anhyzer shot, but you can see it just goes really, really far. Gives me a good amount of pan, hooks up at the end, and by far the farthest putter shot of the day right there, easily. So now we're going to go with the hyzer. I like to throw my hyzers on a standstill. I feel like it just gives me a little more control. Magnets, for their straightness, they do hold a hyzer pretty well. They just don't go very far. The Banger GT I like for this standstill hyzer shot right here because you put some air under it and it tries to stay up in the air. It's got a lot of glide. It's pretty big, and Bangers just feel like they want a hyzer out of my hand. I don't know what it is. The Challenger, you can see here, I put a ton of air under this, probably a little bit of a miss, to be honest. But I like this shot too for kind of just stall hyzers. Things that I need to finish left, but I need to put a lot of air under them too. But you can see it stalls out and just kind of drops, which is very similar to what this Gateway Wizard does on a same kind of line. A little bit of air bounce there knocking it down, but you can see pretty similar looking shot. And then the P2. The P2 doesn't have as much glide as the other ones do, at least not as much as the banger, but you could see it definitely hyzered. Now here we're just on the course, little approach shot, nothing special. I do like it as an approach disc. Next one's just off the tee, put it pretty close, easy hyzer, almost hit some metal off the top. The next hole that you're gonna see, there's a Y tree that I laced and I absolutely parked it, but my cameraman / wife didn't catch it, so she's fired. Parked. So what is my take on the Discmania P2? Well, to be honest, I like it a lot. It's got that familiar feeling of a lower profile AVR-ish type of a mold, but it's a little bit more overstable, especially when it's fresh like this one is. You could see how it wanted to always fight out of whatever angle I put it on. As they beat in, they get straighter. One of the things that I particularly like in a putting putter is I like that beadless kind of feel. For my personal throwing putters, I throw the Banger GT, which is a beaded putter, a little bit more overstable, a little bit less overstable than like the Discraft Zone or the Westside Harp or some of the other more maximum overstable putters that are out there. So when I throw this, it's a little bit less overstable than that. So it doesn't really fit my throwing putter kind of a game, because I either want that kind of medium overstable or something that's workable to an anhyzer. But when it comes to putting, this is a really great putter for putting because it's nice and neutral. It has that slight overstable finish on lower power. It's got that beadless low profile design that feels really nice in your hand, whether you're a spin putter or a push putter. Even this baseline plastic is nice and firm. It doesn't, even in the hot sun today like we are here in San Antonio, it holds up. It doesn't get floppy like my soft magnets do. That's my putting putter personally, is a soft magnet, because I'm a spin putter. I want something that's going to come out of my hand and grab chains. This, I used to be a pitch putter, so I kind of reverted a little bit to give this a try. This comes on my hand nice and clean because of that beadless design. It has that nice finish to the basket, and even though it's nice and hard, it still does grab chains. It likes to stick and stay in the basket. For throwing putters, I can see this fitting into my bag personally as that kind of nice neutral flying disc after it beads in a little bit. It has a little bit of an overlap with my my Jawbreaker Banger GT because it does have that overstable finish. And my Jawbreaker Banger GT has a straight flight with a small hookup. I have an ESP Banger GT that I didn't throw on this video that has a little bit more of a hyzer. It's a little bit more closer to my beat-in zone. But the one disc that I would compare it to that I'm most familiar with for putting is the CT Crazy Tough Challenger. And the Challenger is a little bit deeper in the hand. It has a small bead on the bottom, so it feels a little bit different in the hand. But this feels a lot more comfortable. You feel like you can get a full kind of manipulation of the flight plate with your fingers. You can pop all your fingers off at the same time when you're pushing towards the basket or you're spinning towards the basket. And sometimes that the reason I went away from that Challenger mold is because it was so deep. I felt like I had an inconsistent release with my fingers. So this putter, I can understand why pros love it so much, because it has that lower profile, has a nice clean release, it's overstable, it can fight wind, and they make it in premium plastic too. If you get like the Simon Lizotte signature series of the P2, those are great if you want a premium plastic type of a feel. All in all, I love this P2. Maybe I'll find a spot in it in my bag for it, but absolutely love it. Would highly recommend it. If you want to buy one, go check out discbaron.com. Again, Disc Baron was kind enough to sponsor this video. Thank you so much. Go check them out. Go give them a like on Facebook. Follow them on Instagram. Follow us on Instagram at DiscGolfCentral_ for more videos and more giveaways. And we'll see you on the next video.